dealing with the role of the juvenile judge in California in the dependency case, the juvenile judge literally becomes the parent of the child, because you can't get into the foster care without a judge ordering it, and you can't get out without a judge ordering it. And the judge literally then takes over the parental decision-making in many respects, sometimes all of it. And so issues of health care, issues of education, are all those things that ultimately the judge is responsible for. I can recall dealing with some important issues of visitation, only to be told in the middle of the hearing that, well, by the way, there's a criminal protective order out there. I said, all right, so what is it? Well, we don't know, but we know there is one. Well, where is it? Well, it's over there with the criminal courts. Well, how do we get it? Well, nobody knew. If we don't know the actual information that any parent ought to know about their child, then we're pretty lousy parents.
A major need of judges in juvenile court is information. They get large, complicated, sometimes disorganized reports from a variety of sources. I think we heard today that one judge said, okay, and I have 6 minutes to dig into the stack that's a foot high and find the piece of information on the kid that I need.
The conference here this week is really all about information sharing. Systems, as we know, have been developed over the years in their own silos for good reasons and sometimes for not so good reasons. There's been a recognition over many years now that that's not the most efficient or the most effective way of delivering services, especially for people who really consume or use multiple services. We require them to go through all sorts of complicated application processes. California is incredibly significant in terms of the changes that are going on at a national level. It's in the midst of many, many kinds of technology initiatives across the spectrum of health and human services, education, courts, and employment. So if there is a success that occurs in this state, the reverberations, the implications of it will rumble across the United States.
The Stewards of Change and the Stewart Foundation have sponsored and engaged in working with courts, going around to the courts of California and finding out what are best practices, what are some of the activities that individual courts are doing, and bringing in information from other states about what other states do, so that we don't have to make all of this up as we go. There are good things that we can now share with each other that may be aha moments for somebody in a different county or a different jurisdiction.
Part of our process has been to visit 6 counties, spend a lot of time, and uncover and listen to them about the programs that are actually in place working today. And we discovered a host of programs, well over 30 programs. What we've done is we've distilled those down, and we've brought 11 of those programs to this conference, and we've been working over the last couple of days to distill those down to a smaller handful that the participants can actually turn into work plans and into next step plans, so that at the end of this we'll have 3, 4, 5 different programs that can be taken from a county or maybe operating now in a couple of counties and extended across the state.
What's exciting about this conference is that the range of individuals that are here, they're all focused on that commitment to the outcomes for children, and there's a lot of passion in the room for that. The whole idea around say yes to making this happen is an important theme, rather than saying, well, we can't because we don't have the resources, we don't have the ability, we don't have the technology. I think most of those are eliminated when you bring people together with passion and vision.
Stewards of Change in this conference are right in our wheelhouse. We have a term at Stewart Foundation about investing in irresistible information, and I think that's certainly what Stewards does and what they bring to the table. We believe that if people get a little bit of information, they always want more, and that part of our role is to be here as their partner to do that, again, to bring the right information to the right people.
This conference is certainly a big step in the direction of encouraging the sharing of information where it's advantageous to children and families.
I think what's different about this conference is that it's completely inclusive in terms of really getting all the players together in the same room, and I think the presenters are sort of the best, if you will, both within the state as well as national.
I look at technology perhaps as an enabler, but I also look at it as a catalyst. If there's something we can put in place that would enable or shorten the time to delivery, then I'm for that. So part of the work that we do is work with states to figure out how we can accomplish that.
I think what was assembled here were some real innovators, some champions, as the program referred to them, who are the interoperability doers, not just the theorists.
You know, I have to admit, I am thoroughly impressed with Alameda's presentation on the system that they have put together for data sharing and information sharing, and what they've been able to accomplish in establishing a master client index, and not only that, how they use that information for the benefit of all.
The first couple of days of conference was a terrific way for someone like me with an IT background trying to help programmatic folks achieve their goals, to get an appreciation for the landscape and the challenges.
Well, of course, we all have to do more with less. And any time that you facilitate the process of information sharing, you are promoting an environment where people can spend their time doing the really important things that are out making contact with their families and providing services.
It's no longer a conversation about if things should happen, but what is happening. Huge to see leaders from around the state, experts from other parts of the country coming together and really figuring this out together and benefiting from the work that's already been done.
I was just having a fantastic conversation with folks from our county council and our chief information office to talk about what are the building blocks that we can put in place now, what does this look like, and what meetings we want to set up when we get back home.
I didn't realize that there were so many people who had similar thoughts and similar ideas and have taken this interoperability concept to whole new levels that I had not even thought of. So coming out of this meeting, I have new contacts and new ideas on what works even in my county.
We don't want any of our family or youth in the system, but we are unfortunately here for a reason. When they are able to see a government and a judicial branch that are focused solely on them, when you come before me, that's all that matters. When they understand that kind of dedication and sense of commitment, I think that they have the ability to sit a little taller in their own chair. They have a different sense that I matter, people care about me.
The thing for all of us to remember is that these are our children, not your children, my children, and families. And if we can see that, we can set the common goal for all of us.